The secret psychology of ignoring a girl. Have you ever wondered how much attention you should pay to a woman you're interested in? Will ignoring her make her more interested in you, or will it simply push her away? In this video, we're going to delve into the secret psychology of ignoring a woman and make sure we do it right. So, welcome to our channel. If you're interested in unraveling the mysteries of the female mind and discovering effective techniques to improve your personal relationships, this is the perfect place for you. Subscribe now and stay tuned until the end. Hello, my name is Christopher, and I constantly receive questions from my clients. Recently, I was working with a client who expressed his concern that if he stopped contacting the woman he was talking to, she would completely forget about him. I asked him why he felt the need to constantly text her and ask her out. His mindset was as follows: if I don't contact her, I'll be out of sight, out of her mind. I don't want her to forget me. I realized that many men share this fear, and unfortunately, it not only ruins the woman's interest, as happened in my client's case, but it also prevents them from harnessing powerful psychology that could make the woman chase after them and become even more interested in them. That's why, in this video, we're going to delve deep into the psychology of ignoring a woman. One of the questions I always ask my clients is, when you get nervous and wonder if not responding to her messages immediately or canceling plans with her will make her want you less, will it make her think, what's wrong with this guy? Forget about him. The answer to this simple and straightforward question is always unanimous. When a woman treats you this way, do you want her more or less? Imagine you send a text message to a woman and don't hear from her until the next day. During that time, you're waiting for her response. Do you forget about her, or do you keep checking your phone, eagerly awaiting that message? And if you're excited about going out with a woman, and at the last minute she cancels plans, you might feel annoyed, but at that moment, do you want her more or less? Let's analyze these aspects of psychology and understand how they work in the context of relationships. The psychology of attraction is fascinating, especially when it comes to uncertainty and availability. Our human nature drives us to desire what is uncertain or inaccessible. In this video, we will explore 5 reasons why this phenomenon works and how you can apply it correctly. You can't miss the last one because it's the most powerful. But first, I want to clarify what exactly ignoring a woman means. Ignoring her can encompass various actions, such as not responding immediately to her text messages or creating space in your daily routine. Many of the men I work with express concerns about this. They tell me, I find myself in a constant routine of texting her every night to wish her good night and also in the morning to see how she's doing. But, just like them, you're probably wondering, what would happen if I decided to ignore a woman? Ignoring her could be as simple as not sending those constant text messages. It could mean resisting the urge to respond immediately when she sends you a message. Don't feel like you have to be under pressure to reply promptly, something many men experience when they receive a message from a woman. They fear that if they don't respond right away, she will think they're not interested and will look for another guy. That's what I mean by ignoring a woman, not feeling the pressure to respond instantly. But it also involves other things. Imagine a woman in your social circle, a friend, or a coworker who interests you. Do you always run towards her, always give her excessive attention? Do you give her 90% of your attention at a party? Or are you comfortable ignoring her for a while and giving her less importance? For example, if she's a coworker, do you dedicate all your attention to that attractive coworker, or can you simply continue with your work without immediately greeting her? The idea is that you decide how to distribute your attention currency. And that's what we mean when we talk about ignoring a woman. It's about maintaining your attention and not giving it away completely. In this video, we explore 5 different aspects related to this. The first is checking in because it's important. It's something I want to discuss because it's the recurring concern of my clients when I tell them they don't need to always be available. Checking in is when you send a woman a text message just to check in. It's like saying, "I'm still here. I don't want you to forget about me." And that's exactly what you're doing. But do you know what happens when you communicate with her in this way? She feels it, senses that desperate need for reassurance, and that's not good. Responding immediately is not the best option. The key is to do it right. The problem with always responding immediately is that human nature tends to value things that are less available more. Let me give you an example I once gave to a client. Imagine sending an email to your favorite celebrity. Would you expect them to respond? Probably not, right? You wouldn't expect it because you know their attention is very valuable, and they don't know you that well yet. But what if they actually responded? You'd be thrilled. You'd say, "That person is amazing." But what if it were you who replied to them? And then, when they respond, and you start talking to them, you realize they're not as great as you thought. You realize you were right, that they have all the time in the world to text you. Subconsciously, a woman feels the same way. She has high value and demand in the mind of a busy man who has many things going on and can't be texting all day. She wants to test your interest. That's what guys don't understand. They think, well, she texts me a lot, so I'll just keep up with her. But in reality, she's doing that to see how much attention she can get from you. And if you give her all your attention quickly and effortlessly, you'll devalue yourself. Eventually, as happened with my client, she will start to distance herself because she values your attention less. Now, let's move on to the second crucial aspect of the psychology of ignoring a woman. Women equate longing with love. Let me repeat that. Women associate longing with love. What do I mean by this? In a woman's mind, when she longs for something, that feeling of wanting a guy to text her, that sensation of staying awake at night waiting to hear from you, of not wanting to miss out, that's what she imagines love to be. If you look at romantic novels or shows targeted at women, like Sex and the City, the main character, Carrie, eventually marries Mr. Big, right? Throughout the series, their relationship was built on longing. She never had his full attention. That's how women view love. And they do it all the time. They equate longing with love. The problem that nice guys face is that when they never ignore a woman and give her all their attention, she doesn't experience that longing. She doesn't have the feeling of wondering if you'll come to her desk to greet her at work because you're always there, always saying hello. You deprive her of that longing feeling. That's why I often say nice guys end up thinking, it's me, I'm being authentic. But in reality, you're depriving her of what she truly desires. You're not doing something noble, you're being selfish. You're depriving her of that longing experience. And that's where the power of the psychology of ignoring a woman lies, because it precisely makes her long for your attention. The third element of the psychology of ignoring a woman is a mental challenge. Just as women experience longing with love, they also long for a guy who represents a mental challenge. What do I mean by a mental challenge? It means you're not easy to figure out. Does she like you? Does she not like you? How much does she like you? Is she seeing other people? What's your position in her life? When it comes to men, we come with the mindset of, can I sleep with her? Because ultimately, a woman knows that most men would be willing to have intimate relations with her. So, that's where the mental challenge comes into play. I'm not going to rush and sleep with this woman quickly. I'm going to make her wait a bit. It's the opposite. I'll maintain a certain level of confusion so that she has to put in more effort to capture my attention. And that's what she likes. She likes to go home and analyze your behavior with her friends. It's something that happens among women, right? It's a female conversation topic. They wonder if you like them or not, just like their friends do. And if you deprive her of that dynamic, she will lose interest. Because when she's around her friends, and they say, "Oh, it seems to be going well," but without that additional element of the mental challenge of deciphering your intentions, she feels like something is missing. And that's when she often says, "I don't feel that spark." It's because the mindset of challenge is missing. If the video has been helping you so far, don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up. The next element of the psychology of ignoring a woman is probably one of the most powerful, and it's called hot and cold behavior. I understand how impactful this can be, as I've not only experienced chasing girls who exhibit this kind of behavior, but I've also had coaches for over 13 years who often chase women who act in contradictory ways, showing moments of warmth and coldness. There's something inherently addictive about this hot and cold behavior. Many people admit they hate it when women do this, and women, in turn, confess that they hate it when men behave the same way. However, universally, we all fall into the trap of hot and cold behavior. And there's a scientific reason behind it, discovered by the psychologist B.F. Skinner, the psychology of unpredictable rewards. If we look at gambling games, we'll understand why they are so addictive. There's always that moment of uncertainty, that instant when we wonder if we'll win or lose. When the roulette wheel spins, we experience anticipation, a constant waiting until the ball finally drops, and we find out if we've won or lost. That feeling of euphoria triggers the release of endorphins, becoming addictive. And in the realm of dating, something similar happens. Imagine you're dating a woman. Sometimes, you call her, and she's excited to see you, affectionate, and clearly interested in you. However, on other days, she appears distracted and distant, exuding a certain coldness. Every time you meet her, you never know which version of her you're going to get, and that makes you long for the moments of warmth even more. Now, when I mentioned that you should do it correctly, I meant that if you constantly ignore a woman, she will lose interest. She'll think you're not interested in her. On the other hand, if you pay too much attention to her, she'll also lose interest. She'll realize you've been devoting too much time and energy to her. Withdraw your attention for a while, make her long for more of it. Hot and cold behavior is extremely addictive. It has probably happened to you or to many people at some point. There's a woman in your life, maybe a coworker, who some days is flirty and talkative, while other days she seems to ignore you completely, as if you don't even exist. This woman becomes magnetic to us because, first of all, she represents a mental challenge. And hot and cold behavior, when it comes to ignoring a woman, actually makes us more attractive. It's fascinating how psychology plays a crucial role in these dynamics of attraction and desire. The balance between longing and challenge, hot and cold behavior, creates an emotional tension that envelops us. Understanding and harnessing these aspects of psychology can help us establish more interesting and satisfying relationships. The psychology of ignoring a woman has one final aspect that is crucial to highlight: autonomy and independence. These qualities are highly attractive in a man, as they demonstrate that he is not controlled by a woman and that he has control over his own life. For those men who lack autonomy, it's important to understand that at times, ignoring a woman is necessary. There's no need to respond immediately to every message or demand. Women often say they don't want games, but the truth is that these attitudes naturally arise when someone lacks autonomy and places their relationship with a woman above everything else in their life. On the other hand, when a man focuses on different areas of his life, such as his career, physical fitness, and friendships, he naturally ignores a woman. This makes him incredibly attractive. Let me give you an example to illustrate this. Suppose you're dating a woman, and she's excited and tells you, "On Tuesday, I'll leave work early. Can I come to your place? I want to see you." Your initial impulse is to say, "Of course. I want to see you too." However, imagine that on that day, you had planned to go for a 5-mile run in the park as part of your marathon training or just to stay in shape. In that case, an autonomous man would say to the woman, "I'd love to see you, but I have a run planned for that day. Maybe we could meet later in the evening or find another time." On the other hand, a nice guy who fears losing that woman and thinks that if he doesn't see her, she will forget about him, would cancel that run to spend time with her. However, that decision comes from fear and shows that he's willing to set aside his own goals to please her. When you tell the woman that you have other commitments, like a planned run, you show her that you have a life of your own and that she's not the exclusive center of attention at that moment. I'm not saying you should never prioritize a woman over other things in your life. There will be times when you can skip that run or make adjustments. However, the right mindset is not to constantly sacrifice your own goals and priorities. Many men tend to lean too much in the opposite direction, willing to give up their friends, hobbies, and anything else to get a woman's attention. It's crucial to ensure that you do it in a balanced way. A woman wants to feel that she's gradually winning you over, that you're slowly discovering how special she is and how much you like her. You must be able to attract her instead of giving her all your attention at once. If she realizes right away that she has all your attention, she will lose interest quickly. But if she feels that she's gradually gaining your attention, she will value being with you even more, and she will be the one pursuing you. These are just some of the techniques you can apply to gradually make her more interested in you instead of the other way around. If you want to discover more about this fascinating topic, don't forget to subscribe and watch our other seduction videos. If you liked the video, remember to give it a thumbs up and leave us a comment to let us know what you'd like to see in our next video. Remember that the psychology of attraction is a broad and captivating subject. By understanding how the human mind works and applying the right techniques, you can improve your relationships and spark greater interest in women. Dive into this fascinating field and enjoy the process of conquest.